Pandemonium by John Martin. Far beyond the world of the living, beneath a sky consumed by fire and smoke, an enormous city rises from the darkness. Its towers glow like molten metal. Its walls stretch endlessly across the abyss. And at the center of this infernal kingdom stands Pandemonium, the capital of hell itself. In 1841, John Martin transformed this terrifying vision into one of the most overwhelming paintings of the 19th century, Pandemonium. The title comes from Paradise Lost, the legendary poem written by John Milton in the 17th century. In Milton's story, Pandemonium is the great palace city built by the fallen angels after their rebellion against heaven. It becomes the seat of Satan's kingdom, a monument to pride, ambition, and eternal ruin. Martin's painting does not simply depict hell, it depicts civilization inside hell, and that idea makes the image deeply unsettling. First glance, the scale of the painting feels almost impossible to comprehend. Tiny figures stand dwarfed before colossal architecture that stretches into fiery darkness. Massive bridges span glowing chasms. Towers and domes rise like ancient temples forged inside a volcanic nightmare. The city appears both magnificent and cursed, beautiful, and utterly hopeless. John Martin was famous for creating enormous apocalyptic scenes filled with destruction, divine punishment, and overwhelming landscapes. His works often blurred the line between painting and cinema long before film existed. Looking at Pandemonium feels less like viewing a static artwork and more like witnessing the opening shot of an epic catastrophe. Everything in the painting is designed to overpower the viewer. The architecture dominates the composition. Gigantic columns and impossible structures tower above the tiny inhabitants below, emphasizing how insignificant individuals become within this kingdom of darkness. Rivers of fire cut through the landscape like veins beneath the earth. The sky itself burns. Clouds swirl with smoke and volcanic light, creating an atmosphere where day and night no longer exist. The horizon glows red as though the entire world is permanently on fire, and yet the city is strangely organized. This is not chaotic destruction like many depictions of hell. Pandemonium is structured, engineered, ruled. That reflects Milton's vision of the fallen angels. In Paradise Lost, Satan and his followers do not descend into madness after their fall from heaven. Instead, they build. They gather in council. They create a dark imitation of divine order. Martin captures that contradiction perfectly. Pandemonium feels grand almost to the point of admiration, until the viewer remembers what it truly is, a monument built by beings condemned for eternity. The painting also reflects the anxieties of Martin's own era. The Industrial Revolution was transforming Britain during the 19th century. Massive factories, expanding cities, smoke-filled skies, and new industrial technologies reshaped society at terrifying speed. Many viewers have noted that Martin's hell resembles an industrial empire as much as a biblical underworld. The glowing furnaces, the endless architecture, the choking atmosphere. Pandemonium almost resembles a future civilization consumed by its own ambition. That connection gives the painting an eerie modern feeling. It is not simply a medieval vision of demons and torture. It feels like a warning about power, empire, and humanity's ability to construct its own destruction. Martin's use of light is central to the painting's power. Unlike heavenly paintings filled with sunlight and clarity, Pandemonium is illuminated almost entirely by fire. The glow comes from beneath the city rather than above it, making the entire landscape feel inverted. Light no longer symbolizes hope. It symbolizes damnation. The tiny figures scattered throughout the composition appear almost irrelevant compared to the scale of the city itself. Some art historians interpret them as fallen angels gathering before their infernal capital. Others see them as reminders of how absolute power reduces individuals into insignificance. Either way, humanity, or what remains of it, disappears inside the enormity of hell. John Martin became famous during his lifetime for precisely this kind of spectacle. Audiences in 19th century Britain were stunned by his gigantic canvases and catastrophic visions. His paintings attracted enormous crowds and influenced everything from later Romantic art to modern science fiction and fantasy imagery. Many of the visual ideas associated today with cinematic depictions of hell, apocalypse, and ruined civilizations can be traced back to Martin's work. And Pandemonium may be his most iconic vision of all, because it presents hell not as torture alone, but as empire, a kingdom built from rebellion, a civilization illuminated by fire, a dark reflection of heaven itself. Today, the painting remains one of the defining visualizations of Milton's infernal world. Standing before it, viewers often experience two emotions simultaneously: awe and dread. The architecture is magnificent. The atmosphere is mesmerizing. But beneath the beauty lies the terrifying realization that Pandemonium is a city without redemption. No sunrise waits beyond its walls. No escape exists beyond the flames. Only the endless glow of a kingdom built after the fall of angels, deep beneath the light of heaven forever.